statement about the season itself thus far and beginning conference play against Connecticut.
Well, we sit here at 17-7, and I thought we played maybe our best overall game on Tuesday. We're still looking for consistency. We've been a little bit up and down, but this is the time of year now when you really start to find out a lot about your team. They've played a lot of games now. They have a lot of at-bats under their belt. They have a lot of innings on the mound. So now you really start to look for consistency. And if we can play like we did on Tuesday, I like our chances as we move forward.
How important is it to start the season to win the series? Not only win the series, but win it against UConn.
Well, they're a good club. There's no doubt about it. They're well coached. Those kids play really hard. We're very familiar. They return a lot of players. We return a lot of players. There's a lot of familiarity between the two clubs, and we're looking forward to it. The guys, you could tell after Tuesday's game that they turned the page quickly in their preparation for UConn, and they know that we're going to have to play some of our best baseball to come out of here with some kind of success. So this will not be easy by any stretch, but they're ready for it. They prepared right, and it should be a very entertaining weekend.
Coach, just what kind of motivation, what kind of confidence can Tuesday, and as you mentioned, how you saw your team play, what can that do for you?
A lot, because we went into an environment that was a little hostile. We knew that Nebraska was ready to play. They were coming off a tremendous weekend, and that we were going to have to I was anxious to put ourselves in that environment to see how we handled it. And I was really impressed because we jumped out to that early lead. They came back and tied it, and our guys didn't flinch. They just kept on playing. Some teams might have backed off at that point and said, geez, we gave away a 3-run lead. Maybe it's not our day. Maybe we can't win this game. These guys, there was no panic. There was no doubt in that dugout what was going to happen. And I was impressed with that. That's not always been the case when we played down there. So I think we grew up a lot that day. I think we found out a lot about ourselves. It's going to be beneficial as we move forward.
Nolan, Coach talked about that he thinks Tuesday was your best game up until this point. What encouraged you based on what you saw from your team?
I think, pitchers pitched well. We've seen Kuzman do good. Got obviously Jimmy, Shane, and Garrett, Ackerman. They've all been great all season. Defense made plays. They made really good plays, look routine. Then the hitting just strung hits together, timely hits. So we haven't really been able to figure that out too many games. But obviously on Tuesday we had timely hits to get runs on the board.
How have you guys worked to turn your focus from that now to this series this weekend?
We obviously know Tuesday's a big game. It always is here, this program. But we now know that conference is coming up on us. We're kind of later than most conferences, but especially starting out with UConn, it's a big weekend for us to get going in conference. It's a big one to start out with.
What did you reflect on maybe last year of the success you guys were having midweek, carrying them over to these weekend series as you embark on conference plays, or something consciously that you're trying to do differently this year around ahead of time?
Not really. We kind of place as much importance as we can on every single game we play. Coach Service does a really good job of that to make sure we're ready to play each game. Game against Nebraska is the same as a game against UConn when you're looking at it game by game, but obviously the conference games that are more important than the midway game against Nebraska. So we got to go out there with the same energy we did against Nebraska as we do at UConn.
And the Huskies just perennially have presented, a challenge. What do they bring to the table? What makes them so difficult?
They kind of just play great baseball all the time. They don't make too many mistakes that we can capitalize on. They kind of just play great game of baseball every time we play them. They got good pitching, good hitting, good defense, and it's always an interesting game to play against them.